Yes, sir. And it don't stop. So let me know if you want a world peace hoodie. I'm in Sudbury. Let's go. I got this. Kiwi. Whoa, these flowers smell good.
Qui en 2013 a rédigé une lettre qui s'intitule « Sa lettre d'amour à la communauté noire ». We don't deserve to be killed with impunity. We need to love ourselves and fight for a world where Black lives matter. Black people, I love you. I love us. We matter. Our lives matter. Nous ne méritons pas d'être tués en toute impunité. Nous devons nous aimer et lutter pour un monde où les vies noires comptent. Chère communauté noire, je t'aime. Je nous aime. On compte, nos vies comptent. And today we say their names. The names of lives that matter. Of Black and Indigenous lives that matter. Et aujourd'hui, nous prenons le temps de dire leurs noms. Tous les noms de ces vies qui comptent. Les vies de ces individus noirs et autochtones qui comptent tous. They are. Voici leurs noms. Abdirahman Abdi, Abdurrahman Ibrahim Hassan, Abraham Natanine, Adrian Lacquette, Alain Magloire, Andrew Loku, Ateishi Ashuna, Jean-Pierre Bonny, Bryden Whitstone, Kevin Poussette, Chad Williams, Chantal Moore, Clive Mensa, Cody Severite, DeAndre Campbell, Dale Culver, David Sapa, Aisha Hudson, Ajaz Ahmed Choudry, Evan Karen, Everett Patrick, Jeff Morris, Greg Ritchie, Ian Price, Jamal Francique, Jaskamal Singh Lel, Jason Collins, Jermaine Carby, Joey Knopsweet, Josephine Pelletier, Kwasi Skeen Peters, Lucian Silverquill, Mashwar Madoot, Mark Ikamba Boikwa, Nicholas Gibbs, Nicolas Thorne Belance, Orlando Brown, Osama Sean, Vongna Tony Zhu, Pierre Coriolan, Randy Cochran, Regis Korchinski Paquette, René Galland, Rodney Levi, Sammy Yatim, Sandy Alaku, Sean Thompson, Sheffield Matthews, Tommy Ninjuk, Sterling Ross Cardinal. I now ask all Black and BIPOC folks to take a knee. All allies stand with us in solidarity. And let's take a moment of silence.
On June 3rd, 2020, the first of several Black-led racial injustice rallies were held at the Sudbury courthouse. As the summer progressed, numerous rallies, unlike any Sudbury had ever seen, were held across the city. These events served as a catalyst for the creation of Black Lives Matter Sudbury. It's been a year
of organizing, planning, and educating our community. An entire year of hard work, perseverance, and calls to action facilitated by a series of dedicated volunteers. You heard that right?
We are volunteers!
Across this year, we have fought tooth and nail for social change in our city. We were told to look to our elected officials for support and change. And on September 22nd, 2020, BLM Sudbury took on City Council and made 3 important demands. 1.
We demand funding for the implementation of culturally safe after-school programming for BIPOC youth.
2.
We demanded increased BIPOC artist opportunities and funding. 3.
We demanded the immediate defunding of Greater Sudbury Police Department and reallocations of funds to community-led initiatives and social services which are drastically underfunded.
It's been a year! Councillor Jocelyn Landry Altman said, I don't necessarily agree with some of the things you said, like defunding the police. Coming from Ward 12, where we appreciate police services, but that's something you will learn. No police!
I live in Ward 12, Jocelyn, and I can assure you I do not appreciate the police on my doorstep, lurking in my neighborhood. Have you asked your BIPOC, marginalized, oppressed, impoverished, non-upper-class constituents what they think? How many have sent emails and made calls demanding to defund the GSPS? Will you continue to ignore them?
Defund the GSPS!
Ward 1 Councilor Mark Signoretti said, I can tell by your presentation that you're very passionate about what you believe in and what's right. So I'm sure all of us around this table will do what we can to assist.
It's been a year!
What have you done in those 365 days you were given? Have you listened to your constituents? Have you held yourself accountable to the promises you made?
Increase police budget!
By 4.8%, a total budget of $65.7 million. Our community advocated for a decrease of 10%, and instead you deepened their pockets and threw our calls of justice and change aside.
$65.7 million!
To those who claim to listen.
$65.7 million to those who actively profile and persecute marginalized communities. $65.7 million!
To those who claim to listen while increasing policing of displaced and homeless individuals in our downtown.
$65.7 million!
Non-city councilors voted in favor of the police budget increase, despite concerns raised for marginalized populations and despite research outlining how the millions of dollars could better be used if reinvested into our community rather than spent policing it. Mark Signoretti, Michael Vadnini, Robert Kirwan, Renee Lapierre, Mike Jacupo, Deb McIntosh, Fern Cormier, Bill LeDuc, and Jocelyn Landry Altman. Angela Davis says, in a racist society, it is not enough to be not racist. We must be anti-racist.
It is not enough!
On February 1st, 2021, Mayor Brian Bigger released a very short Black History Month statement in which he stated the city recognized the contributions of Black communities and wants this to be a welcoming, diverse, and inclusive city. He said he wanted to spend the month learning and focusing on moving forward.
What have you learned? I have learned that our elected officials do not value our lived experience and expertise, that they are not listening. You're not listening!
As a group of volunteers, we have advocated for more members of Sudbury's BIPOC community in the past year than our paid politicians and lawmakers.
It's been a year! 5 rallies, 10 educational presentations, a ground mural, a free 2-day virtual conference designed to uplift and accentuate the voices of marginalized individuals, where speakers were paid for their time and effort.
Educate the community!
A year of being ignored, of fighting the corrupt colonial system, of working towards a better tomorrow for our marginalized communities.
A better tomorrow!
We will not sit idly by. We will continue to demand justice and fight against systemic racism in all its forms. It's not a moment, it's a movement, and every second counts. Where were you during the civil rights movement of the 21st century?
What have you learned?
What have you changed?
We are watching!
We
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
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 It's been a year. Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year.
Nothing's changed here.
It's been a year. Nothing's changed here. It's been a year.
Black Lives Matter today. Black Lives Matter tomorrow. Black Lives Matter forever. Join us back in Tom Davies Square for some celebration! She has recently been admitted to the University of Ottawa's Juris Doctor program, where she plans on specializing in Indigenous law. Takara has been an extensive and loud advocate for the decolonization of Black and Brown bodies. Takara is proud to join Black Lives Matter Sudbury in their goal to make the community of Greater Sudbury a more inclusive space. Today, she will be performing a spoken word piece. Please join me in welcoming Takara Paquette.
Hi, everyone. Wasn't that hell of a game, right? That what we did, that walk? It was awesome. All right, so first I'd like to say that I'm happy to join you all on this momentous occasion. The poem that I'm going to share is called The Shadow Man, and it is dedicated to Rodney Levi, who was shot and killed by the RCMP on my reservation, Metapenaugiog First Nation. I'd also like to dedicate this to Regis Korchinski-Paquette, who was failed by Toronto Police Services as she did not receive the mental health services that she needed at the time of her death. Too many Black lives and Indigenous lives have been claimed by settler forces. So let us continue the fight for justice and equality so that BIPOC children one day can live without fear of those who are supposed to serve and protect. And to the government that is supposed to safeguard its citizens does not continue to disenfranchise and murder them. And with that said, the Shadow Man. A bullet pierced in his back, breaking down on scarlet-skinned knees and clasped his hands. The blood had trailed the curve of his spine, staining through his jacket. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, a Black man's life matters. It must. Squeezed eyelids produce rain like tears from the Shadow Man. A white light flashed when his heart gave up. It depicted his life. Regrets composed with wasted breaths on the earth's evilest temptations. Now must his spirit see on the charcoal night of his death. So he prays, kneeling in quicksand until he is buried underneath, sinking and constructing crucifixes on the pavements of hell. The man lies dead. Redemption for his soul, granted by a God, reminisced only in a man's time of need. An epic legend where life's morals have no values, made clear by a ghostly man who lurks only in dark corners. Thank you. Black Lives Matter.
This poem is called A Mining Town. If you Google City of Sudbury crater, a pothole appears. What an analogy for this beautiful city. Isn't it funny how a meteor crashed and formed Sudbury? Kind of like an angel that might have fallen from heaven. Too much pride, you may have had it for your city, and sometimes you have it in you. This city that wouldn't exist without explosions, I've had my fair share of outrage here. Feeling imprisoned, the soil is acidic, bitter but capable of extracting sweet fruits. Blueberry, darker the berry, sweeter the juice. Blue baby, that's how it gets sometimes during the winter. And white, oh so white. Yeah, we're not just talking about the people. I'm from the north, though my face is from the east, and my skin is from the south. I'm from the north. Cold, like my demeanor, like the mines. It's what built this city and what built my character. I'm a miner searching for gold, and I keep ending up with pyrite, fools. When I discover lost treasure, I'm so relieved. Mining is laborious, draining, I'd say. Sometimes you're left in the dark with no jewels to save face. And I know here that there are traces of gold, like the fact that the city turned a mess into a masterpiece. That old hospital ain't haunted, it is enchanted. And the city is a crater, she's got depth. And if you can't see it, find it in yourself, because the city made me, it's where I grew up. She rejects me, it's where I have my fondest memories. She's deep, she is deep, and God is within her, she will not fall. Thank you.
Broken down, tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. Rise up, rise unafraid. Rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. Oh, rise up, high like the waves. Oh, rise up, in spite of the ache. Rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll bring the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. Rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, yeah. and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. We'll rise up, and we'll rise up, rise like the day. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up high like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. We will rise, ooh, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise again. Thank you.
Put your hands together for world peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out, bringing your positive energy for the Black Lives Matter movement. Appreciate all of you. This song's a dedication to every single one of you. Woo! Who's ready? Who's ready? Woo! All right. Woo! 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 You and you and you and you and you and you. Woo! Thank you for all the work you do. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. You are important. 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 You. Woo! Hey. Every single day, yo, you give your love to the Lord straight from your core to the whole wide world. Boys and girls, let your love and furl, let it twist and twirl, let your love and beam to the galaxy. Hey, when I say world, you guys say peace. When I say world, you guys say peace. World peace. World peace. World peace. Louder. World peace. World peace. World peace. All right, listen up, check it out. Thank you for all the work you do, all you do to contribute to life. You're the light, shining bright. Woo! Thank you for all your positive energy that you give. It's so constructive, so productive. I appreciate you and 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 you. Thank you for all the work you do. All right, I need you guys to repeat after me. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Hey, I believe in myself. I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
I can do anything.
I can do anything.
Black lives matter.
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 Black lives
Louder. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives
Clap your hands. Black lives matter.
Black lives
Clap your hands. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Give it up for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. Woo! World peace. Louder. World peace. Somebody say shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Tomorrow, come out to TD at 10 a.m. I'm performing with the Afro Madness Drum Troupe. We're gonna hit the little whoop-de-whoop, shoo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. World peace, good energy for you. Woo!